Formula One, known as the peak of auto racing, has for many years garnered an enormous fan base across Europe, Asia and South America. However, penetrating the American sports scene has posed significant challenges, with domestic racing leagues such as NASCAR and IndyCar frequently taking the limelight. Yet, recent years have seen a potential shift, with an increasing number of Americans drawn to the adrenaline-fueled universe of F1. The intriguing point now is to uncover the reasons behind this evolving trend and to determine if Formula One is genuinely gaining momentum in the United States and what are the good and bad sides of it. Several crucial elements are playing a part in the increasing acceptance of F1 in the United States. One of the prime instigators of this growth, I believe, is the Netflix documentary series Drive to Survive. This series has been an instrumental tool in introducing a large audience previously unacquainted with the exhilarating world of Formula One to the sport. Also playing a key role, in my view, is the rise of tangible attractions such as F1-centric arcades, which have begun appearing in trendy locales like the Boston Seaport, sparking a renewed sense of enthusiasm and knowledge about the sport. Furthermore, I feel that the increasing visibility of major F1 races within the US, combined with extensive media attention and burgeoning American fan clubs, suggests that Formula One is truly beginning to carve out its own niche in the US sports market. Many US fans that watch F1 don't want any other form of racing, but they watch F1 because of Drive to Survive, and it feels like many of them aren't necessarily racing fans, but watch F1 because they're obsessed with the drama and enjoy the party it feels like on race day. And look, there's no way to shake it. Drive to Survive really is compelling storytelling. F1 has so many elements that make it amazing. The team sport, the bitchy team principles, the individual goals, competing against a teammate, the hopes and dreams of entire crews, and being led by one of the most charming people in the sport. It didn't hurt DTS. If they had that sort of show during the Michael Juan Pablo Montoya era, you'd have a story for the ages. Imagine the team orders at Austria in 2002 as a DTS episode, a documentary you'd never forget. What I've seen is that new enthusiasts are being lured to the sport due to its fierce contests, such as the intense face-off between Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen, a dynamic extensively portrayed in the series. Additionally, by focusing on the diverse teams operating behind the scenes, the series enables viewers to establish a deeper, more personal connection with the sport, thereby fostering greater fan commitment. However, not all fans stayed after that. In a nutshell, I feel that Netflix's Drive to Survive has played a significant role in propelling Formula One into the American spotlight, effectively sparking wider interest and commitment to the sport. The surge in viewership and the expanding fan community can largely be credited to the compelling narratives and riveting rivalries that are expertly woven into the docu-series. Sergio Perez, for example, believes that F1 popularity has reached new heights in the US. From social media to the hit Netflix docu-series Drive to Survive have contributed to the growth of F1 in the US. The country is already hosting 3 races this season: the Miami GP, 8th of May 2023, the United States GP, the 23rd of October 2023 in Austin, and the debut race at Las Vegas GP, the 19th of November 2023. 3 races and the rumored 4th race shows that F1 is seeing positive signs and is going forward with further investments. While discussing the topic following Red Bull's show run at Madrid, the Mexican said that he believes the sport has breached the barriers in the US racing market. He said, "It's incredible what Formula One has done in the United States. You can really see that it's finally been able to break down barriers, and now F1 is very popular in America." This has also brought about many changes in F1, as most of the circuits in F1 were in Europe, but now they've been venturing out of the continent to countries like the United States. One major concern the traditional fans of the sport have about the major US investment is the sport losing its identity and becoming Americanized, but not in the way you would think. Apart from the Drive to Survive series and its popularity, F1 capitalized on this sudden spike in popularity, tripling the number of US-based races and introducing Logan Sargent, the first full-time American driver in a decade and a half. Haas, the sole American team among the 10 participants, even began to more visibly embrace their national identity by adding an American flag to their cars, following their departure from their Russian sponsor. And I can't fail to mention that the American automotive giants Ford have confirmed their intention to make a Formula One comeback when new engine regulations are introduced in 2026, meaning another chapter will be added to the American organization's rich history in the sport. Then Colton Herta was wanted by none other than Red Bull as one of the 2 drivers in AlphaTauri, but the plan stalled over the issue of him securing the mandatory super license. This was taken very badly by Helmut Marko, who stated that Herta's F1 seat would do wonders for the popularity of the sport in USA. The acquirement of F1 by Liberty Media surely helps a lot in terms of popularity on the North American continent. But I wasn't always like that, especially since that dreaded 2005 incident. The controversial race at Indianapolis in 2005 is one of the most notorious events in Formula One history, and it severely strained the relationship between Formula One and the United States. Many American fans felt alienated by the sport and believed that they had been disrespected, and as a result, only after DTS launch did F1 start to recover its credibility in the USA. Then we have the fact that Saudi Arabia wanted to purchase F1 from Liberty for a staggering price of $20 billion, but Liberty declined immediately just because of that growing popularity. Their reign has also seen the successful introduction of a budget cap in Formula One, as well as a new generation of cars using ground effect aerodynamics, all done with the ambition of creating a more level playing field and generating overtaking opportunities. Formula One's value continues to shoot up then, as does that of all 10 teams, but it feels like the key success story for Liberty Media is cracking America, alongside Netflix, which really got the ball rolling. This even led to Domenicali and Sulayem arguing, which prompted the latter stepping down from the day-to-day running of the premier class of motorsport. However, I think that this resurgence of passion may be fleeting, given that several recent developments might discourage a portion of American fans. Firstly, the American team Haas isn't performing very well, ranked 8th out of 10 teams, and the American racer isn't showing exceptional skills. Sargent ranks last and consistently falls behind his teammate Alex Albon despite driving comparable cars. When Christian Horner, the leader of the top-tier Red Bull racing team, was asked about the growth of the sport in the US during a Bloomberg Power Players segment, he suggested that simply having an American driver isn't sufficient. Horner recently stated something very interesting, with which I believe you would all agree. "I think it's a matter of keeping them engaged," Horner said, referring to how to keep Americans interested beyond Drive to Survive. "I think we ultimately also need a home hero. We need an American driver that's not just there for the sake of it, but that is there competing at the front for world championships and race victories." The upcoming F1 movie starring Brad Pitt could help bring more interest, and even Formula One CEO Stefano Domenicali expects it to have a Netflix Drive to Survive effect and help to take the series to another dimension. But like Drive to Survive, it's one thing to get Americans to tune into drama with a tub of popcorn on a Saturday night. It's something else to get them to wake up in the middle of the night for a race on the other side of the globe where the winner might be decided in the first 15 minutes. While the growing popularity in USA will bring money and more fans, more action in general will make it more interesting. It'll also bring about the bad sides like the so-called fake fans who are only there because of DTS and expect drama and interesting races every time, which is something the sport hasn't seen in 10 years with the exception of 2021. Will that deter them from watching Formula One? Only time will tell, because it's miles different from NASCAR or IndyCar. The Las Vegas Grand Prix in November, for example, will probably be the biggest F1 event on the North American continent in decades, if not in the history of F1, due to the unusual and unique track shape and just the way the event is being announced, with parts of the famous Las Vegas Strip being closed in order to prepare it for the race. Nevertheless, should Andretti join the grid as an 11th team, or he buys out a team already on the grid, it's very clear that the F1 USA caravan, along with its fans and races, is here to stay for the foreseeable future. So, do you think the growing popularity of the sport in the USA is detrimental or good for it? Let us know down in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next one.